Well, January is officially over, and February is well and truly here, and you know what that means. It's time for a heap more new game releases to be added to the digital and physical hoard that is my library, hopefully yours as well. I'm as some cozy gamers like to call, Jamison sometimes plays, but mostly hoards, but you guys watching can call me Jamison, and welcome to my channel. And here's 8 games on my radar for February this year. Starting off at number 1, we have a sequel to a much loved action RPG series set for a February 4th release, and that is Kingdom Come Deliverance II. This highly anticipated follow-up to the 2018 hit takes players back to 14th century Bohemia, continuing the story of Henry, a blacksmith's son caught in the chaos of medieval warfare and political intrigue. The game builds upon its predecessor's dedication to historical accuracy and realism, as well as offering an expanded open world, refined combat mechanics, and deeper role-playing systems. Now, if you're like me and never got around to playing the original, you might be wondering if you'll be able to fully appreciate this sequel. Well, don't worry, the developers have confirmed that Kingdom Come Deliverance II is designed to be accessible for newcomers. Whilst it still continues Henry's story, it provides enough context and background information so that even those new to the series can jump in without feeling lost. And if you are a returning player, you can expect an even more immersive, choice-driven experience with enhanced AI, better animations, deeper character interactions. And while I won't be picking it up at launch, I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for a price drop or a solid trade-in deal. But whether you're like me, waiting for the right moment, or the kind of player who grabs every big release on day one, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is shaping up to be the ultimate medieval RPG experience, with intense sword fights, deep political intrigue, and beautifully recreated medieval worlds to explore. This game promises an immersive and historically rich adventure. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 will be available on PS5, Xbox, and PC on February 4th. Moving on to next on our list, we have a JRPG sequel the fans in the West have been waiting for what feels like an eternity, and that is The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak II. Now this game I will be picking up on release day, but I won't be playing it right away since I want to finish some of the other Trails games in my backlog first, and whilst past games add depth to the world and to the characters, I dare say this will get me shot, but they aren't 100% essential for newcomers, except for Trails Through Daybreak 1, as it is a direct continuation of that story, so at least play that if this is your first time picking up a Trails game. But apart from that, this sequel is set several months after the first game, where you'll once again step into the shoes of Van Arkride, a Spriggan, which is sort of an underground problem solver that handles jobs for both the government and the criminal underworld. And just when his life starts to settle down after the events of the first game, a new request will arrive that sends him spiraling into yet another high-stakes conflict. This time, however, he won't be alone, as he'll get to reunite with familiar allies from the first game, whilst also teaming up with some new faces in order to uncover a conspiracy that threatens the balance of Calvard. Daybreak 2 builds on the first game's action and command hybrid combat system, allowing for seamless transitions between real-time and turn-based battles, and though I can never say this, the Zypher Orbment system also returns, offering even more customization options to shape your party's abilities and playstyles. Expect a deep, choice-driven narrative with intense battles, political intrigue, and plenty of callbacks to the broader Trails universe. So whether you're still working your way through the previous title, or you're primed and ready to go, The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak 2 launches on February 14th for all modern consoles and PC. Maybe consider picking this up for someone special in your life on Valentine's Day. Or, on second thought, don't. I'm just an idiot on YouTube, don't listen to me. At number 3, we have a rhythm game / visual novel hybrid from the same developers behind Coffee Talk. A great game in its own right, by the way, so check it out if you haven't. This time they're bringing us Afterlove EP, a unique blend of storytelling, music and emotional depth. Set in Jakarta, Indonesia, Afterlove EP follows Rama, a young musician struggling to move forward after the passing of his girlfriend Sinta, as he navigates grief, relationships and self-discovery Players will experience a mix of visual novel style narrative choices, light adventure elements, and rhythm-based gameplay. Now, I'll admit, I've never been a huge fan of rhythm games. The button mashing and rapid hand-eye coordination required in most modern ones usually turns me off, so I was tempted to dismiss this game altogether, but after watching the trailer, I realised it features a much simpler rhythm system, reminiscent of a time when rhythm games weren't all about complex combos and lightning-fast reflexes, and more importantly, it's not the main focus of the game. Rather, it serves as a complement to the visual novel style storytelling, which is filled with emotional weight, compelling character moments, and a beautiful musical score. This game's hand-drawn art style and lo-fi inspired soundtrack also adds to its deeply personal and immersive atmosphere, making every interaction feel intimate and heartfelt. So if you're a fan of narrative-driven games with emotional depth and unique mechanics, this one should definitely be on your radar. Afterlove EP releases on February 14th for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox and PC. A fitting date for a game all about love, loss and moving on. And next, we have our final February 14th release to catch my eye, and that is Tomb Raider 4-6 Remastered. Now there's not much that really needs to be said here. It's Tomb Raider, you know what you're getting. A busty gunslinging adventurer / archaeologist diving headfirst into ancient tombs, deadly traps and high stakes action. Now if you're wondering why I'm so keen for the next half of this remastered collection, it's simple. Some of my fondest childhood memories are of running around the original trilogy on my aunt's PS1, not knowing what I was doing. And after revisiting those games with the previous remaster, I'm determined to finish all 6 games before diving back into and completing the Survivor trilogy. Honestly, I'm not sure what sidetracked me from it in the first place, but I gotta get back to it. This remastered collection brings back 3 PlayStation era classics: Tomb Raider The Last Revelation, Tomb Raider Chronicles, and Tomb Raider The Angel of Darkness. All will have modernised visuals, improved controls and quality of life updates. It also restores some cut content from the original releases, making this an exciting revisit for long-time fans and a solid entry point for newcomers. Unlike the original trilogy, these games aren't actually numbered, but they do take place in a chronological order, with Revelation being first, leading into Chronicles, which then sets up Angel of Darkness. This era of Tomb Raider took a darker, more narrative-driven approach, exploring Lara's past, legacy, and ultimately her downfall in Angel of Darkness, which was supposed to kick off a new trilogy before development issues cut it short. Beyond the visual upgrades, the remaster also introduces enhanced gameplay mechanics, as well as the ability to switch between original and remastered graphics on the fly, letting you experience the nostalgia however you'd like, while still appreciating the modern improvements. So if you're a fan of one of the most classic puzzle platformers out there, or if you just want to see the evolution of Lara's story, then this is definitely worth checking out. Tomb Raider 4-6 Remastered launches on February 14th for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch and PC. Now at number 5 we have Avowed, a first-person RPG set in the world of Pillars of Eternity, launching on February 18th. Unlike its isometric predecessors, Avowed shifts to an action-orientated perspective, all whilst keeping deep role-playing mechanics, branching narratives and meaningful choices at its core. Players will take on the role of an envoy of Adir sent to the Living Lands, a wild and mysterious island teeming with untamed magic and long-buried secrets. You're tasked with investigating the Dream Scourge, a spiritual plague corrupting both the land and the people, and you must uncover its origins, all whilst navigating the political intrigue and dangers that lurk in the Living Lands. While Avowed isn't a full open world, it features a semi-open world approach, with distinct zones designed to keep the story progressing at a steady pace, without you wandering off and getting lost. This design choice helps maintain narrative focus, while still allowing for plenty of exploration and discovery. I wonder if this style will feel reminiscent of older RPGs but with better mechanics and pacing. As for combat, it blends melee weapons, spellcasting and ranged attacks, allowing for a flexible playstyle. Along the way you'll also be joined by companions, who will aid you throughout your journey, each with their own backstories and unique character development. With its vibrant world, rich lore, and fast-paced combat, Avowed aims to be a worthy successor to Pillars of Eternity, all whilst bringing a fresh new take on its storytelling. If you're a fan of Obsidian's signature RPGs, this one should definitely be on your radar. Avowed launches on February 18th for PC and Xbox, and will have day one availability on Game Pass. Now for something totally different from the previous games I've mentioned, and that is this cozy little title, Cinnabunny. Set to launch on February 20th, Cinnabunny is a laid-back game inspired by other famous cozy farming and life sims like Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley. In this game you'll play as a bunny, searching for a new home after a drought forces your family to relocate. You'll end up in a place called Sugar Creek Burrows, and in order to move the rest of your family here, you'll need to run a bakery, doing everything from mastering recipes to foraging, farming, and even mining for ingredients. And much like any cozy farming sim, when you're not busy managing your farm, or bakery in this case, there's plenty more to do. You can explore Sugar Creek Burrows, befriend villagers by gifting them treats, decorate your home to maximise coziness, or head outside and do anything from bird watching to mushroom collecting, or even capturing rogue recycler bots. With its adorable art style and relaxing gameplay, Cinnabunny is shaping up to be the perfect pick for fans of the wholesome farming and life sims. Moving on to number 7, we have the title I'm most excited to get my hands on this month, and that is Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. The latest installment in one of the best JRPG franchises out there, fight me if you disagree, and is one I've been eagerly anticipating. If you've been following the Yakuza series for any amount of time, you already know why this is absolutely gonna pop. We're stepping back into the shoes of Goro Majima, the mad dog of Shimano himself. After years of following this chaotic character, it's awesome to see him front and center once again. But what really excites me is the return of the classic action combat. I've never fully gotten behind the turn-based mechanics of the recent Like a Dragon titles, so saying goodbye to them and going back to the over-the-top, high-energy beat-em-up action is a huge win. And it's not just the combat. This entry brings back the goofiness of the mainline Yakuza games and characters. Until now, if you wanted that old school combat, you had to give up the goofiness and settle for a more serious tone of Judgment or the semi-historical drama that is Ishin. So getting back to the mainline chaos with this combat system is a breath of fresh air. Now we get to see this ridiculousness cranked up to 11 with Majima as a pirate in Hawaii. Known for his unhinged energy, he's now on an amnesiac pirate adventure. It's Yakuza at its finest, blending humour, action and chaos like only this series can. I'm all in for Majima's wild journey through the islands, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza launches on February 22nd for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And last but not least, closing out this month with a bang, we have another entry in a truly monstrous action-based JRPG franchise, and that is Monster Hunter Wilds. Set to launch on February 28th, 2025. This latest installment in Capcom's legendary series is shaping up to be one of the most ambitious Monster Hunter games yet. While details are still somewhat limited, what we've seen so far looks incredible. Wilds is introducing massive, seamless environments that dynamically shift between weather conditions and ecosystems in real time, making each hunt feel more immersive and unpredictable than ever. Picture chasing down a monster, only for a sandstorm or heavy rain to roll in, completely changing the way you have to approach the fight. And speaking of monsters, Capcom has already tested both brand new creatures and returning fan favourites, meaning veteran hunters will have plenty to look forward to. One of the standout features in this new game is the introduction of Secret, a new mount designed to enhance both exploration and combat. The Secret allows players to traverse the vast environment more efficiently, guiding you to objectives and streamlining the hunt. Whilst mounted, you can perform actions such as using healing items, sharpening your weapon, and even switching between your primary and secondary weapons, all without dismounting. This versatility makes it an invaluable tool for hunters navigating the wilds. Combat is also getting refinements and new traversal options, making navigation smoother and battles more fluid than ever. And of course, at its core, Monster Hunter Wilds is still all about that addicting gameplay loop of tracking, hunting, carving, and crafting your way to stronger gear so you can take on even bigger threats. With all these improvements and a fresh, more cinematic approach to storytelling, Wilds is already shaping up to be a must-play for both long-time fans and newcomers alike. It's set to release on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And that concludes the list of 8 games I'm personally interested in for February 2025. If you made it all the way to the end, I just want to say I really appreciate you. This video is longer and somewhat different from what I normally do on the channel, so thank you for sticking with me. And as always, if you found any part of this video helpful or enjoyable, don't forget to give it a like and to subscribe to the channel for gaming guides and hopefully more news and reviews in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.